Here.
Caffeinate. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, caffeinated. He was really
Caffeinated.
It's good to be here. I'm originally, so is David. We're originally Houstonians.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's nice to be back home.
H-Town.
H-Town. Just know that we do go around Dallas saying things like H-Town.
Yeah.
And what do you love about Houston?
The grit.
The diversity. I will say, like, Houston is one of the only places where you can literally, and I took it for granted until I moved, and I was like, oh yeah, there's never two of the same kind of person anywhere. It's awesome.
That's very true.
That and I don't miss the traffic, y'all. It's gotten so much worse.
I know. I was saying that to my mom yesterday. I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, I can't get anywhere.
I know. It took me almost an hour to get here from Katy, and
Yeah.
that's on the West Park Tollway. I was like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. I don't miss the weather either.
Yeah.
Just because it's pretty humid. But
Yeah, we were saying that we definitely have better hair in Dallas than we did in Houston. It's a little
But
dry.
it's also my home. It'll always be my home, dude. Yeah, I love Houston.
Home is home.
Yeah.
So you guys reside in Dallas, not in California?
We're split.
I'm in California, but I was in Dallas for like 4 years.
Was that all? That's amazing.
Yeah, and when I would drive down from Dallas to Houston for work, one of my favorite things about Houston is, and I maintain this, you guys still have like the best tacos I've ever had in my life down
Yes.
here. Like, just crazy.
Woo!
Yeah, the food is so good. I'm just like, no, there's like this, I don't know the name of it. But it's like this little tiny like magic place, and they had like the best tacos I ever had in my life.
Man, I wonder where it was.
Yeah, David Wald would know.
Okay,
He
yeah.
took me, so he would know.
That's cool.
Yes, David.
Yeah.
Shout out to the food.
Yes, the food is so good.
Foodie
Alright.
town.
Yeah, so jumping right in, guys, because that's what we're here for. My Hero Academia, right? I want to get this off my chest because I think the fans can all agree when I say this, right? My Hero Academia is truly one of the best modern animes of all time. It will go down as that, for sure. You know, and for me personally, it came in at a time when I needed it most, you know, and I kind of had a little bit of a hiatus after like my mom passed, and that was connected to, I think, the second, my wife is right here, so shout out to the wife.
Yeah.
I think, shout out to the wife. I believe it was like the second or first season, and after I had to wait a bit, I'm like, oh, well, I remember when I got the bad news she was passing, but I was watching My Hero Academia at the same time.
Right?
But obviously when we saw the last season, the last episode, that hit me like a truck.
Yeah.
Right? Because everything came back, but in a good way, you know, also because it's like, oh, the show progressed, I progressed, and where has society gone since then? But I do want to let you know, you all did such a wonderful, magnificent job. So seriously, give it up for this legendary cast.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, you know, My Hero Academia will go down, as I mentioned, one of the most impactful animes in the modern era, for sure, right? What do you think is the core reason it resonated so deeply with audiences around the world?
It's a complicated answer. I think there's just sort of something for most kinds of viewers. I think overarchingly, a big theme that I see people who like the show that they match in real life is this theme of like, we're stronger together, so find your people that get you and keep them close to you. And so I think that's fostered a lot of like, through watching the show, I've seen families grow closer. I've seen people make friends with people online or people that they wouldn't have approached outside of their comfort zone before. And there's just a lot of, that's very powerful to me.
Quickly, ladies and gentlemen, Deku, come on. That is awesome, all of you.
Nice. I appreciate that.
I think the superhero thing kind of brought a lot of people in. You know, like a lot of people are like, oh, superheroes, that's big in culture right now, let's watch this. But I think that it's one of those shows that you think, oh, well, this is gonna be fluffy and fun and cute. And then you get in there and you're like, oh God, this is not what I signed up for, but I love it, and now I'm hooked. So I feel like that was part of it too. I think the superhero aspect is what brought a lot of people in, and they were surprised. Also too, it came out, we had the pandemic in the middle of the release. And I think for some people, My Hero was kind of a respite and a like get away from the chaos. Well, kind of like right now, of the chaos of the world. It's kind of just a way to get away and be in a different place with your friends that you care about.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, I think the world that Horikoshi created, you know, with the foundation being this Quirk society and how that relates to our love of superheroes. Plus, all the characters are so like well drawn, not artistically, but also just there's a depth to them. I always think it's amazing when I talk to people about Todoroki and that the family and that you've got this like, you know, whole superhero world happening, and then right there in the middle of it, there's this compelling like family, real life kind of traumatic thing happening, you know? And so I think there's something for everybody in it. Each character represents so many different things, and then they're all like come together in such a seamless way that I think, like Justin said, I mean, we talk to people all the time that, you know, they bonded over this, or families watch it together. No other show that I'm in that I talk to people about is quite like that.
And I love that because, like you said, the show, and you all said it so beautifully, like heroes, you know, like that's, especially in this day and age, we need it more than ever. But just quickly jumping on it, you know, like whether it's the music, you know, whether it's the animation, obviously the acting, the messages and the development, everything hit on such a beautiful, it just hit so beautifully. So you guys seriously did a wonderful job. We appreciate it. So speaking of heroes, right, I'm glad you guys kind of touched on that. What does being a hero actually mean in today's world?
It's a very deep question.
I'm like, and when you hit us with today's world, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or yesterday's, whichever.
I mean, I think like, and this kind of resonates with like classic heroes too, but like especially now, I think it's like not compromising on your moral compass, and like, you know, like if you know something to be true, not letting the outside world gaslight you, like especially if like facts back up your truth. And you know, like, you know, at the core, like humanity in general, like we're all in this together, and like we should, you know, being a hero is like taking care of each other and doing stuff that's scary, or speaking out when things are scary, or if like, you know, people are more vocal than you and you're like, I don't agree with what you're saying, you know, taking a stand. Then I think with all heroes and bravery in general, you have to be scared to be brave, and it's like, you know, working through that. It's like, I don't think there's a true act of bravery without that fear in there too. That's a tangent. I don't know, man. That's all I got.
That was great.
No, that was great.
That's great. I mean, the only thing I would add to that, and I think Amber, it's already encompassed in what she said, but like, just simply like showing up for other people, like showing up. Like, I mean, that's what Deku does right away. Like before he's, you know, he just kind of rushes to like whoever needs a little anything, you know, and showing up for each other, I think is. I like to say it like that because it's however that person might need you to show up in that moment. Being able to offer that is pretty awesome. I mean, like, what else? What's better than that, you know?
And there's so few people that do that.
Oh my God.
Like, you guys have all seen on social media, you'll see somebody getting harassed and they're videoing to protect themselves, but then there's people all around them watching this person get harassed or picked on, and they're just sitting there. A hero would be like, hey, stop doing that. Like, you don't have to have a cape, you don't have to have superpowers, but just being able to like look out for others. I think that's a great way to put it.
So quickly, just stay on that topic for a quick second. You're gonna be like, man, this is a lot of hero questions. And it so happens that's what I wrote down too. So can someone be born a hero, or is it something you choose?
Ooh,
Deep question.
that's like a nature versus nurture kind of.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, kind of getting back to it, like, I feel that, like, everybody has the potential to, you know, be a hero. Some people might, like, just be more naturally inclined to, like, speak up or step in and stuff, but, like nothing was preventing anybody from speaking up in the situations, except for, I think, our perception of heroes, this goes back to, like, kind of, like, vulnerability and stuff, is, like, people be like, oh, well, I don't feel strong, I don't know if I'm 100% correct, or, like, am I allowed to assert myself in this situation? And so much of it is just like, what do you feel in your core is like right, and like anybody can like step up, in my opinion.
I think people don't make that choice a lot of the times based on fear of how it might come back to affect them, and this is going to get really political for a minute. Not really, but the only reason we have that fear is because the powers that be continually try to divide us. So if you're not separate from other people, or we're not divided, then I don't fear retribution because I'm just doing like the right thing. But if it's always kind of told to me that, well, if you do that, then this might happen, or your own survival's threatened, then it's hard to overcome that. But if we're all together on it, our survival's not threatened ever. I mean, besides,
Yeah, I like stuff.
Give it up, guys. That's amazing.
I mean, really.
That's a good point.
So, jumping on that quickly, Shigaraki, right? Are characters like Shigaraki byproducts of evil, products of neglect?
Products of neglect, evil or neglect.
You're gonna make me say something nice about the creepy dude with all the ears?
He's one of my favorites. He's like
Yeah,
one of my
dude, me
favorite
too,
characters.
me
I love him.
I mean, I love the character of Stain. He's one of my favorite characters for exactly kind of at the question that you're talking about. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think my heroes' villains, quote unquote, are so compelling. And I think this is another reason why the show resonates with people is they're so compelling because they're so complex. They're not, the big bad villain who's doing this thing because I'm evil and I want to see other people suffer. I mean, obviously that's in there, but such the engine of the villains, what them is so. Maybe I should go to one of these wired mics. Is so compelling that you can't. You don't have to agree with the one about it, but I don't know. It's hard to argue their ideology sometimes.
It is. I find it very compelling as well, and it's sort of what you alluded to a bit earlier about how in his pivotal moment nobody showed up for him. They pushed him away and pushed him, and so the only solace he could find was someone who wanted to take advantage of his state. And I'm not saying he should have done all that stuff, but it's easy, where you see Deku kind of open his heart to his hero and he's accepted. Shigaraki, he can't find anyone who understands his heart, and until he has to kind of make his own found family of other misfits, which is kind of strong in itself, I think.
I love that. And Kent Williams, legend.
Oh, dude.
We all love him, right? He's such a beautiful soul, and I've spoken to him a couple of times, and that's Mr. Compress, right?
Yes, yeah.
That was a villain that I just felt like deserved a lot more, personally speaking. Like, more back, so we needed more, but I told him a couple of times, like, hey, he brought that to life so beautifully. I just felt like there was more of a backstory that could have happened, but it was great. It was great.
He's awesome.
Oh, he's amazing.
This is also
Yeah.
oh my God, his journey, unbelievable. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so if Quirks existed in real life, do you think society would look like My Hero Academia?
Oh God.
No, I think if Quirks were real in real life, I'm just gonna say it.
Do it.
I think it's gonna be more like X-Men.
We're all thinking it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like people are gonna go, wait a minute, that girl can float, but then she pukes. Like, kill her.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with her.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be up to us,
Or-
the weirdos, to be like, no, she's fine.
Or it's gonna be utter chaos. There would have to be a whole new Bill of Rights and all kinds of stuff drawn up to say what you can and can't do, and it might be insane, utter chaos. But maybe that's good. I don't know.
Controlled chaos, maybe? Okay, yeah, X-Men, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna hunt him down, and I don't know.
Maybe if Deku's leading the charge, someone with a good heart and a moral compass. But I don't know, man. Oh,
That's
scary.
a tough one. It is, right? Oh, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I would think if I saw on the news that there was some lady that's half frog crawling up the side of a building, and I'm like, I probably think that was pretty weird too. To be real.
Yeah.
But it would be normal for us. We'd be so used to
Oh,
That's
sure.
true. That is
creatures
true.
and
Really good
things.
point.
Back to to X-Men, like the people who don't have quirks versus people who
Oh, dude,
do.
100%.
Like that's where if everybody has quirks, like that's different. But what if it's not like that?
But it'll also be like, you're totally right. And like, what about the people that, you know, have a quirk that's like, you know, not as powerful as another quirk, and then there you've got envy and jealous,
And then you're gonna have like the influencers that are like, I will use my quirk on this person if you pay me money.
Oh, dude.
Oh, those are like black market. Oh no, like the deep
And
dark web.
it all comes back to money at the end of the day.
There you go. Capitalism. Okay. Okay, quickly, before we move on to our next segment. Quirks. If you could have any quirk, what would it be and why? This is for all of you.
I want to be able to teleport. Like, if instant transmission from Dragon Ball was a quirk, that's the quirk I want. Because I love you all, and I love coming to conventions. I hate the airports. And I feel like it's where all the stupid people gather. I don't know how many times somebody can say, make sure you don't have any water in your backpack, just for somebody 20 people deep to go, I have water in my backpack. I didn't know I couldn't have that. I'm like, he just said that 38 times.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens at airports either. I would want a quirk where like I could
No.
just sort of influence the way someone might do something or behave or act by just like thinking it. Like if I finished my meal and like you were the most attentive server the entire dinner experience, but then after I finished and I was waiting for my check, you all of a sudden became the server who was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
I could like think like, you need to come to my table, and then you would just go to my table. Like,
So not like an influencer.
no,
Ultimate
the
influence.
ultimate
influencer.
influencer. Ultimate influencer.
Master
The
manipulator.
influencer.
Yeah. But it would never be, I mean, well, who knows? I mean, if somebody, for the right amount of, no, I'm just kidding.
Just
Money.
kidding. Oh my gosh.
I'd really like to, and I've come around to this over the years, I want to be able to talk to animals, or I want them to talk to me.
Oh, dude.
'Cause
Nice.
I keep having dreams where my puppy, my dog can talk to me, and then when I wake up, she doesn't. It kind of frustrates me. So I'm like,
Dude, that is the best.
Yeah.
We always want to text our cat, and I'm like, why can't you text?
I will tell you guys, try the buttons. Try the little chatty buttons, but just know there are consequences that come with the buttons.
Oh, the
Meaning
button,
they know
right.
when to tell you they want a treat.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
People have those
mad.
cameras that like you can see them when you leave. I don't want one because my heart will just break all the time.
Yeah,
And I won't be
yeah.
able to ever leave.
That's so fair. I've decided over the years, I'm like, okay, my quirk is a two-parter. I want to be able to freeze time and sleep, but not age when it's
Oh.
frozen. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to freeze time and sleep, and then unfreeze, but I have
Oh,
not
yeah.
biologically
That's amazing.
aged. That's
Damn.
all I want in life.
That's awesome.
But it's a twofer. I don't know if I'm
Right.
allowed to have a twofer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, okay.
Shoto has 2 quirks.
Deku has said I can have a twofer.
Well, there you go. So it's funny because I heard like Dr. Doolittle over here, ultimate influencer. Oh, these are great. I love it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna transition to a favorite segment of mine, which I love to play games, and that is I'd love for you guys to draw your characters from your memory best you can, and you have 1 minute to do it. And we have the audience that would judge.
Man, I need colors.
All right. And go, yes. Sorry, there's only 10 seconds in. And no one here is looking at their phone. Nobody's cheating, right? You want to make sure? All right, who thinks Deku would have the best drawing?
yeah.
All right, majority rules. All right, 30 seconds. Oh, that's good. Are any of you actually artists here? Okay, so there you go. I'm like, wait a minute. All right, 20 seconds, everyone. Oh, that's great. Wow. Okay, yeah, you guys are actually artists, secretly. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, turn it around, please. Oh my God! What is? Yeah, well, look at yours. That's amazing. What? I like yours.
this.
I like yours. That's like in my line of work, so I like it. Kind of biased.
Look, I didn't know you guys could draw. I love it.
That's so good. All right, so basically, I just wanted to prove a point for a reason, and it's that you know, when it comes to creating anything in life, right? Especially when it comes to an anime or a TV show, whatever. But if it's an anime, you know, you have writers, directors, editors, producers. You have animators and artists and creators, obviously. But then you have obviously the actors, you know, that are breathing life into it, and then you have the fans who are the collectors and the preservers that keep it going. So before we turn it over back to them, give yourselves a big round of applause, because you guys are the reason why the show just kept going as well.
That's the truth, man.
And again, one last time, and this wasn't to diminish anyone in quality, but I just wanted to say you guys are amazing. Seriously.
Thank you.
Even if you did a
You're
stick figure, I would have loved it. One more time for the cast of My Hero Academia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.